when I first started this project, I knew there was going to be some weird stuff, some idiosyncrasies, some things that might not get done. But welcome to the most convoluted, ridiculous, crazy thing that I've actually found, and it's getting built. What's going on, everybody? It's me. It's good to see you again. I had this question, this was sent to me by request. Now, I've said I wasn't going to do requests, but I've actually been thinking about doing this particular video for a while, but I just didn't really want to because it's, terrible. This is one of the most convoluted systems that is going on with the Interstate program, and most of it's actually greenlit, believe it or not. There's a few things that's still getting finalized in this whole deal, but just as a long and a short, we're looking at one of the most convoluted, screwed up, crazy things we ever seen. And I just call it the 70X project because it involves multiple interstates and multiple intersections, all of which include 70 numbered interstates. So without further ado, let's bring up the details. Let's talk about what's going on here. And I hope you guys know like the new layouts. All right, so what this largely is the construction of what is called I-73 and the extension of I-74. Now, part of this makes a little bit of sense. Another part of this just makes no sense. Okay. If anyone has traveled on I-75 is a major corridor that stretches north-south through Michigan into Ohio, into Kentucky and Tennessee, down into Georgia, and all the way down to Florida. And if you've ever been on I-75, there's a descriptive word for it. I can't put it on me. It's at the tip of my tongue. Oh, yeah. Fucking busy. And I pardon myself for being, not, the most professional here, but I'm burning at both wicks. But let me just address this, right? So there's a couple of things going on here that make a lot of sense, right? I-75 is busier than hell, and basically south of Detroit, it's just packed. All the way down to the point where you get to Tampa and even, further south all the way down to Naples. It's just packed. Believe me, I've drove on it. I'm about to drive on it again. Don't ask me why. Anyway, so there is a congressional approval package where they want to put some stuff together and they want to build I-73. Now, I-73 doesn't bother me too terribly much. Giving a few other corridors to I-75 is not a terrible idea. They're doing it in some of the wrong spots. So that's number one. Number two is that I-74 is getting moved into this project. And if this hasn't given you enough 70s, because we've already talked about 73, 74, 75, it also crosses and integrates into I-77 at different points here too. Why? Why do I do this? Okay, so I-73 is going to split apart from I-75, and it's going to go through Lansing, Michigan. It's basically going to go through the southern part of Michigan, or the central part of Michigan, through Ithaca, Lansing, Jackson, come back down and merge back to the I-75 Toledo. Once it gets down into Ohio, it'll split off at Findlay, and it'll go down to Columbus because, well, it makes a little sense. This is the one place where 75 doesn't really go down. In fact, it goes down to Cincy. And you can tell by this map. And this map actually is reasonably up to date. They're still working on some of the stuffs here, but everything that's in orange is complete and done and up to interstate standards. And part of 73 is technically already operational. It is all being upgraded to the point where these corridors, and it even tells you here, US 127 is getting upgraded to Interstate 73. And then here down to Columbus, it's going to be upgraded. Now, just basically putting it in this way is that I-73 is going to split off. It's going to go to Columbus. It's going to follow the US 23 route down to Huntington, West Virginia, and Ashland, and then it's going to basically upgrade the US 52 route, and it will down at the southern tip of Ohio actually merge in with I-74, which is going to be extended from Cincinnati down to the southern part of Ohio. It's going to be part of an integrated thing. At this point, it doesn't say this on this map, but I-73 and I-74 are going to be a whole new interstate stretching right there at the border of West Virginia and Kentucky. This segment doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest, but it's one of those deals where it's just one of those terrible places that gotta just punch through the mountains. And if you're wanting to economically develop these regions, you kind of have to. One of the number one reasons this is getting actually pushed is that West Virginia is got some really strong senatorial power in the form of Joe Manchin. And basically is that he's trying to get these roads built out so that at minimum somebody can pass through Virginia and you can use part of that to have a little bit of economic dynamism. But he actually would like to help West Virginia develop into a more modern state, and this is really hard because of West Virginia's geography. It's largely mountainous. It's West Virginia really should have been split between Virginia and Ohio. It used to be all part of Virginia. The problem is that West Virginia is just really in this mountainous autonomous zone that exists in where it is, and it just doesn't really work that well. But anyway, we're not going to get into the geopolitics of West Virginia, but anyway, I-73 will continue down into Virginia as I-73, I-74, and then it will eventually split apart to where I-74 is going to go to Wilmington, North Carolina, and 73 will end in Myrtle Beach. You can definitely see here that some of this is already done, actually, and we can bring this up on the maps if we need to. I-73 and I-74 is a hodgepodge interconnection of North Carolina, and holy crap, there is just so much here. But if you'll give me just a second, I'll pull that up because, yeah, it's a pain in the balls. I'll show you guys here in just a second what I'm talking about and why it's absolutely painful. Okay, let's see if I can get the full screen up real quick. I forget how to do this sometimes. Here we go. I like this. Thank you so much. All right, cool. So we got the full screen view up. Works a little bit better. Okay. US 23 is going to be the I-73 route. It's going to go down through the Columbus. We already established that, right? What we haven't really talked about is I-77 here, and that starts just outside of Cleveland and just starts going down. Well, I-75 goes into Cincinnati. We'll eventually see this go down to Piketon. Yeah, it'll follow 23 all the way down to Portsmouth. And then at this point, it will follow US 52 all the way around to basically it'll cross over here, and it'll integrate somewhere along the line where it'll cross over basically at Huntington, West Virginia, and it will continue down through the 52 corridor all the way to the point where it gets to I-77. Once it gets to I-77, you're going to have I-77, I-73, and I-74 all integrated into one. Yes, really, it's that insane. Okay, so 3 interstates are going to come together. You'll have actually 4 interstates here all together at the intersection of I-70, I-81. And it'll continue going further south until you get to... until you get into North Carolina here. Now you can already see that I-74 splits off right here and it goes its own way. I-74 doing its own thing. It will largely go into the US 52 corridor as follows. It will probably, it will not probably. You can see that I-74 is right here, right? So it goes into Winston-Salem. It will basically be overtaken US 52 to the point where it's either all upgraded or they'll have a bypass, which looks like they're already building the bypass here. And I'll even check that here in just a second to see if that's going to be the intended interstate route or if it is going to go through downtown. I don't know. We're going to go find out here in just a moment. But anyway, I-74 continues to go further south, and then, hey, look, I-73. So I-73 is supposed to split off at certain points here We've got it here, here, and there. And we've got I-73 largely taking over this segment of US 220, which we did get a thing on that. So eventually it will completely overtake what we're looking at here. And yeah, I'll say US 460 and then the US 220. So it's going to go quite over a bit, and 74 is actually going to split off. So yeah, it's absolutely weird and convoluted. And if I can't keep track of this, there's a reason why. So what was that real quick here that we're looking for? US 460? Okay. So where is US 460? Because I'm not aware of this. I don't know it exists. Okay, US 460 is right here. So apparently, instead of going here at US 52 and going down through this gap, so they think it's actually going to go with US 460 here and cross over and then go down south. Okay, so 74 will probably derail and go south this way. Yeah. Through here, and this is all actually can be upgraded anyway. So there's no reason why this isn't already labeled. In fact, in North Carolina, it already is. So this will all be the 74 route. This apparently is intended to be, this up here is apparently intended to be the I-37, 73 route. Dyslexia, weird. And it will eventually, looks like it ends here. So it will probably get tied in somewhere along the line. Elsewhere, it says it integrates at 220. I don't know if it's going to integrate by going parallel with 81, or if they're going to just like bulldoze through the mountains here and then integrate it further south at 220. So yes, I'm sorry I can't keep this up and I can't keep the track of this. It is one of the most convoluted messes I've ever seen. But here's the good news, is that I'm going to bring up my... I am really sniffly. That is terrible. Well, so much for doing what I was going to do. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring up my planner here. And I want to address what's actually on the docket for being constructed and being done, at least from what we can tell. So I'm going to go to full screen mode for this as well. All right, and we will bring up the details here. So we're in basically southern North Carolina. Almost all of this, of what is going to be like constructed brand new, is either going to be the upgrading of like US 1 and South Carolina 9, which is largely what I've been told, is South Carolina 9 will be the corridor route down to Myrtle Beach, but it might be US 501. So like plenty of stuff to be here. We don't see anything largely planned to be upgraded, right? So we won't deal with that. But we already see where I-74 is, and it is just currently being upgraded to Wilmington. So all that's already there from Charlotte. That's all being built out. Here we go. This is the bypass that is being built out around Rockingham. Sorry, I said it was going to Charlotte. Made a mistake here. 73 and 74 will go here at Rockingham, and it's actually largely supposed to split about here. I don't know the details here, but apparently the map is out there as far as where the corridor area is, but they don't have the final map here. But this is in my notes, and it's actually being constructed. And so, hooray! You can actually see that on Google Maps if you so want to. We're just going to kind of go about this and look. 73, 74, 73, and 74 splits right here. 73, we followed all the way up into Greensboro, right? So 73 turned off up here. And then we believe It's supposed to be taking US 220, right? Okay, yeah. So, what? 73 split here? 73. 73. Okay, splits over here. This is one of the most windy and convoluted roads I've ever seen. So, yeah, we have I-73, and then we have the end of this with US 220. We don't see any major notes here saying where it's going to be upgraded. That's unfortunate. US 58, US 220. And this is the area that we were talking about, wasn't it? That we were quite curious if it was going to split. So US 220, we got Martinsville. It makes sense that it'll actually go somewhere in here and cross over. They may upgrade US 220 to full-on expressway. It looks like they're already working on that. But I don't believe that this will actually be the route. I don't think it'll go up to Roanoke. I really don't. I think that this, Virginia, we already have I-77 here, right? Excuse me. We saw it here. This is supposed to be the I-73 route. And it's already upgraded to expressway. That's good. They just need to designate that. Are they going to just keep on going? Or are they going to tear through this and go further south? That would make sense. Otherwise, you have to go all the way up here through 81 and then come back down through... basically, this is I-581 in Roanoke, which, I mean, you could do, but it's definitely a hell of a bypass. So, anyway, we don't have any formal plans on that. We can look around to see if we have anything else. And I've looked around plenty. I just can't keep all this crap in check. Right? But, yeah, US 52, absolutely insane and a pain. And, part of it is, minor road. It's not even major level roads. So, if they're going to upgrade all this is going to be fun. But, suffice it to say, King Cole Highway. That's neat. Suffice it to say, this is the project that we're looking at, and it's a convoluted mess. And I wasn't joking when I said it. It's not that I'm not interested in seeing this. It's not that I'm not interested in that it might be a very cool thing. It's going to get done. It's getting built. And with West Virginia, North Carolina, and to some degree Virginia pushing for this, especially Ohio, it's going to get done. And it looks like this is some of these states' money that is going to get to it. So, yay! Wow, this is going to be a massive undertaking. And it's all over the place. Things aren't finalized. And, yeah, it's been whatever. But, yeah, sorry I'm a little bit discombobulated and not following through. It's just I'm trying to do my research with this one. And after, 3 weeks of this, if not more... this route just doesn't make sense, and half of it is even, I'm going to say, most of it's finalized, or as far as where they want the route to go. That's a lot of money, and that's a lot of work to get that actually done. And, yeah, I'm just not 100% sold that this is going to get done anytime soon, because some of it makes a lot of sense. Going through central Ohio, absolutely. Going through most of North Carolina, absolutely. West Virginia, the only reason it's getting funded is because of Manchin. So anyway, we're going to wrap this up here. I'm sorry if this is a little discombobulated, but it's literally the 70X project for a reason. It's got a little of this and a little of that and everything around there. So if I lost you at some point, you're not even here, I'm sorry. If you didn't make it this far, hey, fantastic. The last video that we'll be doing is just covering the last of all these little sub-projects that got done or that we were looking at. So... we'll do that one real quick. We'll put it out for you guys. And, yeah, without further ado, I've been Tyberius D. It's good to see you guys. And we'll be moving on soon to 2 major projects coming up. And we'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.